All right, welcome to week 10. Today I am hanging out by the library. So if you haven't been here yet on campus, you should check it out. The last part of your week 10 module will be another library badge assignment. So you'll want to make sure that you complete that here in week 10. Real fast, let's just go through what is in your week 10 material. I hope you all had a fantastic 4th of July. I know we stayed up too late. I'm super tired today, and it's supposed to be 100 degrees. So triple digit weather for the first time this summer, which is crazy. So week 10. So this week you begin unit 3 of your Michael Pollan book, Omnivore's Dilemma. You'll be reading chapter 15, which really gives you an introduction to hunting, gathering, and that unit 3 portion. So you'll be reading chapter 15. You've got some discussion board question prompts that you'll want to make sure that you address. And just like every other week, you want to make sure that you make that initial post and then respond to at least 3 of your peers. And all of those are due by this Saturday by 11:59 p.m. So you'll want to read through and address those questions related to chapter 15. Within chapter 15, we are introduced to Angelo. Angelo is he's not from California, but when Pollan was writing this book, Angelo was living in California, and Pollan had recently moved there and was looking for somebody to teach him how to hunt and gather. So he links up with Angelo, like you'll learn in chapter 15. And it was fun to go out and find the specific podcast that Pollan was referring to in Omnivore's Dilemma. So embedded within this module is the Kitchen Sisters podcast about hunting and gathering. It's about a 20-minute long podcast, but realistically, if you start about 3.5 minutes in, and the story ends around 17 and a half minutes, you can avoid all of the ads and things like that. But you'll want to set aside about 20 minutes to be able to listen to that podcast. And then your quiz for this week is based on that Kitchen Sisters podcast about hunting and gathering. So you'll want to make sure that you pay really close attention to that. Just like every other quiz, it's worth 10 points. You'll have 30 minutes to complete that quiz, and you only have one attempt. So you want to make sure that you are prepared to sit down and take that quiz and click launch when you're ready to be able to do that. For this week, your Let's Connect piece for your quid outcome is, like I said, to earn another library badge. So this week you'll be focusing on the Found It library badge, and just like the other library badges that you've been working through, you will complete those specific learning outcomes. You'll take the quiz, and then you will upload the Found It badge screenshot to your assignment portion of this learning module. And you want to make sure that you pay close attention, because right here it is telling you to take a screenshot, but then in that text submission portion of the assignment, I want you to talk about what you learned related to articles, books, and citing sources from the library. So the other thing that I promised up here in your weekly checklist is that I would address your signature assignment, because I do want you to start thinking about this. So we introduced you to the signature assignment at the beginning of the semester, and you all wrote your bibliography for our Connecting with Ideas, You Are What You Eat summer cookbook. So you've all created your portfolios, and you've all submitted your first part 1 of your signature assignment, which was your bibliography. Part 2 is the recipes that you'll be sharing. So I really want you to start this week just thinking about what 3 recipes you will be sharing to go in our Quid cookbook. And so and think about it from Pollan's perspective. So maybe choose something that represents Unit 1 and the things that we learned about corn. Maybe choose something in Unit 2 that represents grass. And moving forward into Unit 3, the hunting, the gathering, maybe a meal that represents that. But also remember that you want this to represent your culture and something that you have prepared in the past that you really enjoy, with friends or family or something along those lines. So be thinking about that. A lot of you in your midterm assignment said, I don't understand this signature assignment business. So I will explain again. I know earlier in the semester I talked about what signature assignments are, but I'll reiterate it one more time. So signature assignments are really the culmination of every single general education course that we offer here at CWI. So in your communications class, you'll have a signature assignment. In your global perspectives class, you'll have a signature assignment. In your GEM 4, GEM 3, like human and artistic ways of knowing classes, in your science classes, they all have a signature assignment component. And it really is a culmination of that specific course. So for this Connecting with Ideas class, the signature assignment is two-part. It's the bibliography that you did at the beginning of the semester, but then it's also this recipe creation process where we'll create 3 recipes and then I will compile them all together to create our class cookbook. And it really represents what we've learned throughout the semester. So gathering food, preparing food, culture. So it is a culmination. And so a lot of instructors will use it either throughout the semester. So I've seen some instructors use it, have signature assignments throughout the semester. And then I've also seen some instructors do signature assignments as your final for the semester. So you really want to pay close attention to how your instructor is structuring that. For me, like I said, we have a part 1, which you've already done, and then part 2 really is your final for the semester. So the week of finals week in week 16, you won't have a final test, you won't have a final like presentation or anything like that. Our final for this semester is your 3 recipes that you will upload to your online portfolio as your signature assignment. So hopefully that further clarifies it. Going into week 11, I will post another wiki. So this is why I want you to start thinking about what recipes you're going to share, because in week 11, you will go in and insert your name, and then there will be 3 columns for you to say recipe 1 is my grandma's strawberry pie. Recipe 2 is my grandpa's sauerkraut and turkey at Thanksgiving. And then recipe 3 is my favorite summertime dish, which is like a cucumber, tomato, mozzarella salad. And then we'll work through the remainder of the semester, how you're going to create that recipe. And then, like I said, what you'll be utilizing, which will be PowerPoint. Each PowerPoint slide will represent your recipe, and then I will compile those into our class cookbook. So be thinking about what 3 recipes you want, because in week 11, you will have the opportunity to upload that into a wiki so that your peers can kind of see what kinds of recipes are going to be in this class cookbook. As always, if you have questions, concerns, comments, or need anything from me, feel free to email. I am back in the office again starting next week, so you can call or you can stop by my office. I hope that, like I said, your 4th of July was fantastic. I hope that this first day of triple digits treats you well and you stay cool. We've been doing a lot of swimming and hanging out in the shade, so hopefully you find a way to enjoy some of this warm weather as well. Have a fantastic week.